Hello, Community Christian School students, and welcome to a basement in Pennsylvania. I'm just kidding. This is my cousin Dominic. We share the same Stavaka genes and the Stavaka smarts. He's a computer scientist, and we have a couple questions for him as a class. But I only have 15 minutes because I'm on the free version of this screen recorder. So. Let's start with this. Dominic, what is your degree in, and how hard was it to get that degree?
My degree is in computer science. There wasn't anything tacked onto it. It was just computer science, although they said it was with a focus in programming. And let me tell you, how hard it was. I was very unprepared for some of the classes, but it wasn't too bad to begin. But it got really hard at the end.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it was worth it. That's good.
No.
Yeah. Let's go with question number 2 here. How is computer science different than IT? Are they the same thing, or are they different?
Well, there's a joke that ran around when I was in school. Computer scientists make the problems and IT has to fix them. Really, the biggest difference is IT deals more with the actual computer.
Mm-hmm.
So, the screen or the keyboard, where computer science deals more with the programs on the computer.
Cool.
So, that's the best way I can describe it.
So if you had your Ethernet cable break, you'd call the IT person, not the computer scientist. Oh, good.
Yeah.
But if your website was infested with viruses, who would you call?
That'd be computer science at that point.
Okay, there you go. All right, that's good. Question number 3. Where do you work?
I work at a company called East Penn Manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
They make batteries, but not like AA's that you stick in your remotes for things, like car batteries or big batteries for generators. So
yeah,
we got some huge machines in there.
So what a lot of these students think is that when you get a job in computer science, you work at like a computer factory, but that's not the case. There's jobs all around the world that require computer scientists at just random places.
Oh yeah.
And you work at a battery factory of all places, and they need computer science people. How many computer science and IT people do you think they have on staff at the battery factory?
On staff, we have about 50 IT and computer science people.
Yeah.
So it's pretty big.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just something that I've been trying to communicate and let them know. All right, here's number 4. What is a computer language, and which do you use at work, and why?
So a computer language is like a list of instructions you give the computer.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is the computer is not very smart. So you have to use fancy words, special words that it understands, so it knows what to do. That's the best way I can put it. I probably made it more complicated than it had to be, but
No, that sounds simple enough.
Kind of instructions you give to the computer.
Mm-hmm.
The one I use most at work is COBOL, which was developed shortly after World War II.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing is really old, but it is so simple. It's like reading an English paper or reading a book. Everything it says is exactly what it's going to do.
So would you say that learning a computer language is kind of like learning a different language, like learning Spanish in school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
it's a little easier, but
except what?
It's a little easier than learning Spanish, but
Yeah. Well, computers don't have colloquialisms. We do. And so, would you say that you are how many computer languages are you somewhat proficient in?
A lot.
A lot. Yeah.
If I had to pick a number off the top of my head, I'd say about 8.
8. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'd be like speaking. I've heard it described this way. It's like when you speak Spanish, it isn't that hard to like learn Portuguese or French because they're all loosely based on the same idea. And if you get one, you kind of get them all. So that's how I've had it described. I actually had a roommate get a job in a computer, doing work in a computer language he had never done before in his life. He said, it was similar enough to some of the other ones that I just kind of picked it up. So he'd never even heard of it on the first day of his interview, and he out-competed all of his competition. All right. What do you program?
I do all kinds of stuff. You wouldn't even believe. Let's see. Probably the biggest one I've worked on so far is I worked on completely renovating the program that the finance department uses. So, they gave me a list of formulas the program had to do, and I put in the formulas. They gave me a list of things it had to do, and I put those in. I also worked a lot with the shipping department. So they have a lot of programs where they have to keep track of which boxes and which shipments go where. Mm-hmm. So you got some going to Iowa, some stay here in Pennsylvania, some go to California, and so I was helping clean that up because it was a mess. But I work on everything from shipping. I work on the printers. I work with the finance department. I work with manufacturing. Yeah, I do a little bit of everything right now.
Yeah, so anyway, one of the things that I've been trying to communicate with the students is that in every department you need computer science. In order for somebody to make a video game, you need to know computer science. For somebody to, even TVs today are getting so smart that they need thousands of hours of man work of computer science. You can't just hit a button and all of a sudden it lights up. You need lots and lots of computer code, and you need computer code for idiots too, because everybody finds a way to mess something up. If you think about a regular video game, this class is a lot of gamers, this 9th grade class. And if you think about a video game, and it takes about 2 days, right, for all the glitches to be found, and now you're glitching outside of the map, you got all kinds of glitch stuff, and people will find a way to expose issues in the code. All right, question number 6, and second to last question, when did you start learning computer coding?
My first day of college.
So you don't need any experience going in.
Nope. It's one of the few skills that you can just dive right in, and you'll be able to get something useful out of it. Like I said, I started my first day of college was the first time I'd ever programmed.
Oh, well, that's encouraging for a lot of people who don't have access to that kind of stuff. I will say that now that you've done a little bit of Code Academy, students, you are better off than my cousin was when he entered college, at least a little bit. I'm sure not a whole bunch. Let's go with this last question. How important is it to know about computers for an everyday, regular job?
I believe it's one of the most important skills you can learn. 100%, it is one of the most important things. Mm-hmm. I think of my job. They gave me a tour of the factory the other day, right before the lockdown. And probably the most interesting thing I saw is there was a computer at every single machine, and everybody had to know, here's how you get on this program, here's how you do this. Mm-hmm. And, they didn't need to know how to program it, they didn't need to know how to write it, but, if something went wrong, they knew how to fix it. Mm-hmm. Like something wrong on the computer, not with the program.
Yeah.
But something wrong on the computer, they knew how to fix it. If somebody needs help with something, a guy from over here in the battery department could come over to shipping and help them with their computer. You don't need to be an expert, but any skills you can pick up it'll make a huge difference.
Good. So, and your company, I think I've heard you say employs, 11,000 people, or so?
Mm-hmm.
And those are 11,000 people that if they were computer illiterate, they probably wouldn't have their jobs much longer, at least some of them. Anyway, it's a really important thing as we venture in farther into the 21st century, that we learn these 21st century skills like computer coding. I remember my first job at Travelers Rest, South Carolina, when I entered the school system there. They had just gotten computers. This school never had computers before, and some of the students, when they went into the computer science lab, they pulled out the fastest two fingers in the West. They had no clue what was going on. They didn't know what Microsoft Word was. They didn't know how to Google something. All they really knew how to do was use their phones. And these type of students have no ability to have marketable skills in the current job market today, unless, of course, they're going into like plumbing or something like that, which, of course, is a decent job. But if you want to get a job like yours, of course, you need computers. All right. Anyway, that was enlightening. Thank you, Dominic. And students, thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will see all of you guys later. Thank you.